I started working for Wilderness Workshop this summer as the hike guide for their Artists in Wilderness program, which is a residency program that sponsors half a dozen or so artists a summer and gives them an opportunity to come to the Roaring Fork Valley and experience this valley for the wild places. And the idea is that hopefully the artists are somehow inspired by these wild places and can use these experiences as a sort of focal point for their art, or just inspiration for their art.
Hi, I'm Kia Neill, and I am an artist in residence here on the Artists in Wilderness Residency. And I am here to explore the landscape as well as kind of how the local community relates to it and like what's the culture of this particular area. And also, you know, what does this landscape have for me in regards to my own, I guess specifically I'm focusing on nourishment and regeneration for myself. So I'm kind of looking for a rejuvenation for myself while I'm here. In addition to making artwork about all this experience and kind of like the conversation that I have with the landscape. So my drawing and painting is usually kind of like these fantastical studies of the landscape, kind of paying attention to the geology or the botany, paying attention to the patterns, the structures, the shapes, and looking for similarities between different landscapes. So looking for similarities in form between textures of tree bark, for instance, of high alpine forests, to like the texture of oyster shells on the Gulf, or even like underwater landscapes, coral reefs, but then also thinking of an internal landscape as far as the anatomy of our bodies, like the vascular system. I kind of sometimes see similar to like maybe ivy sort of lurking through onto trees and kind of slowly taking over. So my drawing and painting are usually kind of studies along those lines. And then my photography, I usually kind of pair some of those textures with photographs I take of a landscape and try to additionally in the collages convey sort of an energetic experience to the landscape. Like if the landscape was a beast of its own, a life, a pulse within the land at large, and kind of the energy of that in relationship to, you know, the society or community that, you know, interacts with it, and also perhaps even over time with like all of the, you know, the old mining houses and structures and stuff like that, to even more contemporary with all like the ski resorts and biking and whatnot that people do. So kind of thinking about all those sort of conversations that a community at large as well as an individual has with the land.